Her name's Anna de Cobra, aka Baroness. Since we lost touch, she's been busy.
Welcome to another thrilling episode from Marvelous Videos. I'm your host Gemma, and today I'll be taking you through the Baroness. She is one of the meanest G.I. Joe antagonists. Marvel's G.I. Joe franchise gave us many memorable faces. The heroes were one of a kind, but the villains of the series often took the biggest bite of the cake. In 1982, issue 1 of the G.I. Joe, a real American hero series was released, and we first met the beautiful Baroness. If the phrase, looks can fool, had a personification, it was her. As gorgeous and striking as the woman was, she was just as passionate about all the wrong things. Merciless and terrifying, scaringly well-organised murders were her source of adrenaline, it seemed, making her a formidable adversary to those who fought for freedom and peace. At her best, the Baroness is flagrantly wicked, and that makes her the perfect right hand to the Cobra Commander. This genre is not kind to femme fatales, not very often, at least, and they lose agency. But for the Baroness, that was never a problem, as she never dithered in her villainous instincts. It is known that the Baroness was initially created as an idea to promote a toy line from Hasbro that had the same name. One of the creators of the Baroness, Larry Hama, had a big hand and massive input in developing the toys line. How that one instance helped develop the character arc of one of G.I. Joe's toughest enemies is the very question we will be exploring now. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. The Baroness, Origin and Evolution. Don Perlin and Larry Hama brought forth Antasia Cicerovana, who was born into a filthy rich European aristocratic family and raised completely spoilt in the most luxurious of environments. Eventually becoming an intelligence officer, she shed her name to take up the title of the Baroness and became a lieutenant in the Cobra organization, an international terrorist group. It was her sheer determination and skill that gave her the right to be positioned as the right-hand woman of the Cobra Commander himself. Her involvement with the Cobra is never highlighted per se, but her exceptional service was, without a doubt, the reason why she was able to rise through the ranks as she did. Anastasia was a hostile student, fundamentalist at worst, but the Baroness' pure evil aura took over her when her brother, who was engaged in a philanthropic cause, was brutally killed. That was the beginning of her life as a worldwide infamous terrorist. She received training in cryptanalysis, usage of weapons, biochemical, military and psychological, as well as undercover activities, and she was quite an expert in all of these things. In her first appearance in Marvel Comics, she played a key role in the first offensive action that Cobra took against G.I. Joe. She posed as a reporter for that operation, codenamed Lady Doomsday. Not only did she manage to kidnap Dr. Adele Burkhart, one of the country's best nuclear scientists and a vocal opponent of wars, but the Baroness also managed to successfully bring her to the Cobra Fortress and then masquerade as Dr. Burkhart right after. However, the Joes rescued the real one, while Cobra Commander escaped the now attacked fortress with the Baroness. Escaping from G.I. Joe's attack, the Baroness boarded a plane with the Commander in tow. As they were leaving, the Baroness desired to blow up the tiny island where Quinn the Eskimo, Dr. Venom and Snake Eyes were engaged in an altercation. She dropped a bomb on sight, but Quinn managed to usher the other two folks into a bunker on the same island. In other instance, an ally of the Cobra Commander, who went by the name of Major Blood, wanted to kill Destro and was merely waiting for the perfect opportunity. When the Cobra Commander established contact with the evil monster Destro to execute another mission in Alaska, the Baroness revealed she is familiar with the masked man Destro and might have an association. It is not until a few issues later that the reader learns of a romantic side to things. Destro and the Baroness had been together before Destro became who he was now. As expected, Blood did not care and took his chance during a tank battle. The Baroness interfered and made the ultimate sacrifice of her life to protect Destro. Blood could have in fact saved her, but he left her alone to bear the effects of a massive explosion and fled from the scene. Needless to say, the Baroness was presumed dead. But presumptions aren't the real deal with the Baroness. Never. She lived. Although facing severe burns, she was rescued and taken to Bethesda Naval Hospital. She slipped into a coma there. Grand Slam, one of Team Joe's soldiers, was able to take Major Blood into custody, and the Baroness was moved from the hospital to the Staten Island headquarters of G.I. Joe, the Pit. Meanwhile, villain Scarface 2 was captured in Libya, and Cobra was thus lured into attacking the headquarters. In the battle, Blood managed to overpower and kill commanding officer General Flag. He then proceeded to get hold of the Baroness and made his escape with her on a Cobra Fang helicopter. Scarface was left behind to succumb to his injuries. The Baroness, G.I. Joe Movie Universe, Rise of Cobra. Stephen Sommers gave us G.I. Joe, The Rise of Cobra in 2009, where Sienna Miller played the Baroness role. Miller, no doubt, did full justice to the different layers of the villain's character and portrayed it gloriously. Prior to the film's central plot progressing, Anna Lewis as the Baroness was then called, had been engaged to Duke, the G.I. Joe team's first sergeant. She was his fiancée for about 4 years and had made Duke promise that her brother, who was also Duke's colleague, Rex, would be protected and watched over. When the tour of duty came up, Duke sent Rex into a building to gather some valuable information stored there. It so appeared that Rex died while acting upon Duke's orders and fell victim to Duke's instructions for an unplanned early bombing of the building. Duke realised his mistake much too late, and absolutely guilt-ridden, he left Anna, breaking off the engagement. Anna was shown as working with Storm Shadow, a Cobra official. Their aim was to steal newly designed Mars weaponry that was being made for the US Army and the Joes. As the plot moves, we learn that a scientist being referred to as the Doctor until then had been using nanotechnology as a way of controlling the mind so as to attack Anna's grief stored in her memory to manipulate her and turn her into a force of pure evil, the Baroness. It was revealed that these nanomites were being injected into Anna by none other than her brother, Rex, who was very much alive and thriving. Anna ended up joining the Cobra as a result of these actions, but she was oblivious to what truly made her do so. To Anna's knowledge, Rex was dead, and the Doctor had taken pity on her, offering the injections as a way to cope with her emotions and not let them control her. Boy, was she wrong. And on so many levels too. A few years down the line, Anna married Baron Daniel de Cobry. The Baron was a scientist and his laboratory was located in Paris. Cobra wished to use this lab and execute their plan of world domination. Anna was tasked with obtaining the nanomite warheads from Duke and his unit for that very purpose. A mission she failed at because the Joes arrived too soon. Using the scolding she then got to step forward, and with a drive to achieve better, she invaded the pit alongside Zartan and her mentor, Storm. To her credit, she fought to the best of her abilities, completely overpowering and knocking out Agent Scarlet, another one of the members of the G.I. Joe team. The Cobra's plans ahead included the destruction of the Eiffel Tower, as was requested by James McCullen, the head of Mars Industries. James wanted to put up a newsworthy show out of it, and the Cobra members complied thoroughly. Meeting major success, Anna and the others took out the Eiffel Tower and captured Duke. Anna took it upon herself to sarcastically congratulate Duke on saving Paris, not caring enough about the fact that the whole city would have been ruined if Duke hadn't deactivated the nanomites before being captured. Then, being face to face with his once wife-to-be, Duke realised Anna wasn't the same person. The new Anna refused to accept any apology for her brother's fate, as she knew of it, telling Duke the tale of her mentor Storm, who had earned himself distrush from Arashikage. Arashikage was supposed to be a ninja clan based in Japan that Storm was previously a member of. The basis of the distrust was a belief amongst the other members that Storm had somehow caused the Master's death. Concluding with that statement, she took the other Cobra members' help and transported Duke to the Arctic to a Mars Industries base. The Doctor, from before, wanted to use the same manipulative methods of transformation on Duke as he had used on Anna at one point. As it so happened, Anna was able to regain some control over her mind, recalling her moments of love with Duke. Empowered by those, she then saved Duke and herself from the Doctor. Climbing into a stolen vehicle, the couple went ahead to successfully assist the team G.I. Joe against the Cobra, taking the terrorists down after a hard day of battle. Anna still had remnants of the nanomites in her though, and she had to stay behind, not participating in any more missions. She was told by the Doctor that she would be able to shed all of it, but until then, the safest place for her was the Joe's aircraft carrier USS Flag. Before Duke headed off to his next mission, he and Anna had a moment, promising to meet often as they shared a kiss goodbye.
Her name's Anna de Cobra, aka Baroness. Since we lost touch, she's been busy.
The Baroness. G.I. Joe movie universe rebooted in Snake Eyes. In 2021, Robert Schwenke laid his hands on the G.I. Joe franchise and made the movie Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins. The Baroness was perhaps not the main persona here, but Ursula Cabero took the role and made it her own with ease and finesse, even with the major reboots that her arc was subjected to. It was not surprising to see a lot of highlights being placed on the character, besides of course on Henry Golding, who played G.I. Joe himself. Going by the real name Anna de Cobra, the Baroness was a top tier member of Cobra. Her incredibly expert and pitiless self used to manage several high profile attacks around the world on behalf of the terrorist organisation she worked for. If achievements were being counted on the scale of evil, she had a top score with influencing elections, affecting a parliamentarian's murder and that of some 200 odd civilians who were on the same train as he was. Bombings and assassinations were not even a job for her at that point. They had become a habit or even life skill. A quick worker with murderous intent is what grade A villains look like, and she checked those boxes, which in turn gave her several allies of her kind. Her plans for the future included a takeover of the Arashikage clan by using their possession, Jewel of the Sun. The jewel was a powerful weapon, a gift from the goddess of the sun herself. To serve her purpose, she linked up with the Yazaku, criminal organisation that was headed by Kenta. She met Kenta immediately upon reaching Japan for her mission. The third person that Kenta involved in the mission was Snake Eyes, a man with an unknown past, who the two of them also met. The duo had planned a sneaky infiltration of the Arashikage, something that Snake Eyes objected to at first because he claimed he had not signed up to commit acts of terrorism. But stealing the jewel was not a plan that the Baroness was about to abandon with ease. So, she warned Snake Eyes about how late it was to grow a conscience, and that she and Kenta anyway had too much control over him for him to abandon them and their plans. They lured Snake Eyes in with the idea of finding his father's killer, and Snake Eyes gave in completely. When Snake Eyes left, Kenta assured the Baroness of Snake Eyes' abilities and the success of their plans. To that, her response was simple. He'd better, she warns him, or I'll kill you both.
He'd better, or I kill you both.
As it turned out, Snake Eyes should have been the least of the Baroness's worries. He completed his part of the job and was given the promised reward. At the time when they reached the Arashikage castle to attack, Kenta acted up and double-crossed the Baroness. His intent was to keep the jewel for himself and not hand it over to Cobra at all. Before Kenta could leave, the Baroness warned him that Cobra would be after him and he would not stand a chance. Provoked by the betrayal, she went so far as to accept Scarlet's proposal of a temporary alliance of sorts, all to take down Kenta and obtain the jewel. Kenta, of course, was found too soon and was almost overpowered. Snake Eyes, meanwhile, realised that he had been fighting the wrong side too, and assisted the duo in their capture of Kenta and the jewel itself. Kenta surrendered, but attempted to escape. Right then, he was attacked by Arashikage clan member Tomisi Bureau Arashikage, aka Tommy. Tommy could not exactly capture Kenta, but he brought down a huge wall and helped Snake Eyes kill Kenta instead. Much to Tommy's dismay though, he had used the jewel to serve his purpose when he was angry, and he was ineligible to lead the clan anymore. As furious as he was forced to pack his bags and leave, but not before he swore vengeance against Snake Eyes. Tommy boarded his private jet, ready to move, when he was startled to find the Baroness there. He was wrong to have assumed that she wanted to kill him, as she clarified verbally. But one can't blame Tommy for assuming, given the aura of the Baroness. Instead, she told these exact words to him: "You've lost an army, Tommy, but I can get you a better one." Tommy's response to that was nothing short of goosebump inducing. Storm Shadow. Call me Storm Shadow.
Purpose to defend human freedom against Cobra, a ruthless terrorist organization determined to rule
the Baroness. G.I. Joe animated universe. The imminent presence of the Baroness was not just restricted to the G.I. Joe comics and movies. She was also very much involved in almost every animated series made in the franchise. Let's discuss some of the gems. She was first seen in the miniseries of G.I. Joe, The Mass Device, where actress Morgan Lofton gave her voice. A master of stealth by disguise, she managed to assert herself and Destro as the top contenders for the position of leading Cobra. Her disdain for Cobra's other officials was not hidden. She had a clear distaste for the likes of Tomax, Xamot, and even the Dreadnoks. Lofton was so loved that in season 1 of Dick's cartoon G.I. Joe, she voiced the Baroness again, followed by Suzanne Erit Balcom in season 2. She also made her presence known in other miniseries like G.I. Joe Resolute as a part of a subplot. In 1987, the Baroness appeared in G.I. Joe the movie for a short while, speaking up against the commander of Cobra. She even showed up at his trial. The Baroness discovered the broadcast energy transmitter, BET, after the Joe set it up in a secure location and informed Cobra and Cobra LA of it. Voiced by Tara Rothery, some other major appearances of the Baroness include direct-to-video CGI animated movies, G.I. Joe, Spy Troops, and G.I. Joe Valor vs. Venom. And this list is far from over, as she was part of several episodes of G.I. Joe Renegades. Much like in the comics, here too, she was seen serving as the Cobra Commander's second-in-command and as the romantic love interest of Destro. When G.I. Joe Sigma 6 was released, we saw a slightly altered version of the character. The Baroness remained a Cobra loyalist, the change being in her appearance. Her fingers seem to now be composed of metal, making them cybernetic. Sigma 6 was the foundation of another miniseries by Devil's Due, where the Baroness was a part of issue 4, appearing opposite Scarlet. The Baroness kidnapped the Prime Minister by successfully using Dreadnoks members to divert Scarlet's attention from her business. A small figurine of the Baroness, about 6 centimeters in size, was released as well. The Baroness. What makes her a villain to watch out for? In most of her major appearances as a member of the Cobra, Anna was undoubtedly an intelligent being with a tactful mind. She was known to be skilled in combat, be it with arms and ammunition or hand to hand. Storm Shadow mostly takes full credit for her ninjutsu training alongside other martial arts forms. Anna was quite good at it and became an accomplished operative to the extent that she was Storm's best student. It is, however, not known if she had extraordinary physical strength or skills with weapons before she was transformed. Her outfit is a leather suit laced with pulse weapons and accessorized by high-tech glasses. She might have been innately evil, but her story in The Rise of Cobra also tells us that her willpower was above and beyond normal human comprehensibility. She fought off the nanomites injected into her, reminding herself of all the good and the faith that was in her heart. This was her first step towards turning against a member of her bloodline, her own brother Rex, as well as the ever-powerful James McCullen.
All right, you three, guard the machines. The
Baroness, closing in. Even though she was often considered ambivalent, the Baroness made sure that her presence and importance for the Cobra were known, acknowledged, and respected. It was not for no reason that she was the second in command in an international terrorist organisation and was rumoured to have identified the true self of the Cobra Commander. Over the years, she has been subject to various forms of media appearances. These versions of her, however, are mostly not created off of the comics, but on the basis of the G.I. Joe character instead. Movies like Snake Eyes are ample proof of that. Honestly, she was written into Snake Eyes as close to the old Baroness as was possible, an unabashed speculator, with just herself and Cobra as her ultimate loyalties. All things considered, she makes the movies enjoyable and the comics interesting, staying true to their verbose tone and action-packed nature. Whether or not her presence will continue to be consistent is too heavily dependent on things beyond our control. But one can hope, because as much as the evil deserves hatred, that is what keeps our superheroes in business. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone.